The lie. It started with a simple sentence over breakfast in our Fulham kitchen. My wife, Sophie, looked me dead in the eye, sipped her tea, and said, "You can't come to the party, Arthur. It's strictly girls only." She didn't blink. She didn't stutter. She just erased me from the guest list of her own sister's 30th birthday. I wanted to believe her, I really did, but there was a coldness in her voice that told me this wasn't about a girls' night. This was about a secret she was desperate to keep. So I did something I had never done before. I went behind her back. I met her sister, Eleanor, at a tea shop near St. Paul's, and when she showed me the digital invitation on her phone, my world collapsed. My name wasn't on the list. Right next to my wife's name, there was a stranger listed as her +1, a man named Julian. If you've ever suspected someone you love was lying to your face, hit that subscribe button right now. Because I didn't just get mad, I got proof. And trust me, you need to see how I used it. I didn't confront her when she came home smelling of expensive cologne. I didn't scream. Instead, I waited for Saturday. She dressed up in a red dress, told me she was going to her girls' night, and left me at home. Or so she thought. The moment she left, I put on my best suit, grabbed a cab to a taxi in Islington, and walked into her sister's party before she arrived. I showed the guests the photos my private investigator had taken, and then we waited. The trap was perfect. At 7:45 p.m., her sister's phone rang. It was Sophie. We put her on speakerphone in front of 30 silent guests. She lied to the whole room, claiming she was stuck at the office working late. But she forgot one thing: background noise. And when a man's voice cut through the line ordering champagne, the entire room gasped. You might think getting caught on the phone was the worst part. You'd be wrong, because 20 minutes later, she walked through the pub doors and realized she had walked straight into her own nightmare. This is the story of how I turned my wife's perfect lie into her public destruction.
"You're not coming," Sophie said, placing her mug of tea onto the granite worktop with a deliberate, final clink. "It's strictly girls only this year." I paused, my spoon hovering over my bowl of porridge. The kitchen of our Victorian terrace in Fulham was usually a sanctuary of warmth on a gray Tuesday morning, but today the air felt brittle. Outside, the relentless London drizzle streaked against the sash windows, blurring the world into watercolors. Inside, my wife had just drawn a line in the sand. "That's odd," I said, trying to keep my voice level, masking the sudden knot tightening in my stomach. "Eleanor always insists I come. Last year she made a fuss because I was late coming back from the office." "People change, Arthur," Sophie replied, not meeting my eyes. She busied herself with buttering a slice of sourdough toast, scraping the knife across the bread with aggressive precision. "It's strictly girls only this year." I leaned back in my chair, studying her. She was wearing her work blouse, the silk one I bought her for Christmas, but she seemed armored in it today. There was a rehearsed quality to her speech, a smoothness that felt unnatural. Sophie was usually terrible at lying. She fidgeted, she blushed. Today, she was cold marble. "Are you seeing someone else?" The words tumbled out before I could check them. Sophie froze. Her head snapped up, and for a microsecond, I saw a flash of panic behind her eyes before the shutters came down. "Don't be ridiculous," she scoffed, a sharp, dismissive sound. "Honestly, Arthur, I tell you that you can't come to a birthday drinks evening and you jump straight to infidelity? You're being paranoid." "Am I?" I stood up, taking my bowl to the sink. "It just feels sudden. And you're being incredibly defensive about a simple birthday due. "It is not open for discussion." She grabbed her handbag and keys. "I'm late for the tube. Don't wait up for me." The front door slammed, shaking the hallway mirror. I was left standing in the silence of the kitchen, the hum of the refrigerator, the only sound. It wasn't just the exclusion, it was the chill, the absolute lack of warmth. I went to work, navigating the crowded carriage of the district line, surrounded by commuters buried in their newspapers and phones. I tried to focus on the quarterly reports waiting on my desk, but Sophie's voice kept echoing in my head, "Strictly girls only." By 11 a.m., the doubt was eating me alive. Then, my Outlook pinged, a new email. Subject, Eleanor's Big 30-0, Drinks and Karaoke, from Eleanor Vance. I stared at the screen. Eleanor, Sophie's sister, was the complete opposite of my wife, chaotic, warm, and brutally honest. I clicked open the invite. "Dearest family and friends, the Big 30-0 is finally here. I've booked the private room at the King's Head in Islington, Saturday 7 p.m. Food provided, cash bar. Bring your singing voices. Can't wait to see you all." And there, at the bottom, in bold text, Arthur and Sophie. It wasn't a mass BCC email. It was addressed directly to us, Arthur and Sophie. I sat back in my ergonomic chair, the open plan office buzzing around me. Either Eleanor had made a clerical error, or my wife had looked me in the eye over breakfast and lied with the confidence of a sociopath. I needed to know which one it was, and I needed to know before I went home. As I stared at the invitation, I noticed the "Who's Coming" list on the side of the digital invite. Right below Sophie's name was a name I didn't recognize. A man named Julian, and he wasn't listed as a friend. He was listed as Sophie's +1.
That evening, the atmosphere at home was suffocating. Sophie had cooked a roast chicken, usually a sign of a truce, but we ate in silence. The clinking of cutlery against china sounded like sword strikes. I waited until she was pouring herself a second glass of Pinot Grigio. "So," I said, keeping my eyes on my peas, "Eleanor sent an email today." Sophie didn't flinch, but the wine bottle hovered for a fraction of a second too long. "Oh, what did she say?" "Just the invite." She seemed excited. It said Arthur and Sophie. Sophie took a sip, setting the glass down deliberately. "She must have forgotten to update her contacts list, Arthur. I told her weeks ago it was just the girls. She's probably just mass copied an old list. You know what Eleanor is like. She's disorganized." "It didn't look like a mistake," I pressed gently. "It looked specific." "Drop it, Arthur," she snapped, her veneer of calm cracking. "Why are you obsessed with this? I told you it's a girls' night. Why do you want to intrude where you aren't wanted?" "I don't want to intrude," I said, my voice hardening. "I want the truth." She stood up, leaving her plate half-eaten. "I'm going to have a bath. Do the washing up, will you?" She walked out. No guilt, no explanation, just entitlement. The next day, I left the office at lunch and took a cab to a small tea shop near St. Paul's Cathedral where Eleanor worked. I needed to hear it from the source. I found her sitting outside under a heater, nursing a latte. "Arthur," she beamed, standing up to hug me. "I'm so glad you're coming on Saturday. I've got you down for a duet with me. Don't think you can escape." I sat down, my heart hammering against my ribs. "Eleanor, that's actually why I'm here. I wanted to check something. Sophie told me it was... well, she said it was a girls-only night." Eleanor's smile faltered. She frowned, confused. "What? No, it's not. It's everyone. Mom, Dad, my uni mates, the whole lot. Why would she say that?" "She was quite adamant," I said, trying to keep the tremor out of my voice. "She said you wanted it intimate." Eleanor shook her head slowly. "That's rubbish. I spoke to her yesterday. She said you were both coming." "Well, actually," she hesitated.
biting her lip. Actually what, Elle? She pulled her phone out. Look, I wasn't gonna say anything because I thought maybe you guys had an arrangement or something modern like that. But on the RSVP list she updated online, she didn't put you as her +1. She turned the screen towards me. There it was. Sophie plus Julian. Who is Julian? I asked, the name tasting like ash in my mouth. I thought he was your cousin or something, Eleanor said, looking worried now. I've never met him, but she's been messaging him on the event page. Jokes, flirty emojis. Arthur, is everything okay? No, I said, standing up. The betrayal felt physical, a heavy weight pressing on my chest. No, Eleanor, it's really not. What are you gonna do? She asked, reaching for my hand. I don't know yet, I lied. I knew exactly what I was going to do. But listen, Eleanor, don't tell her we spoke. Please, if you want to help me, just pretend I'm not coming. She looked at me, her eyes filling with sympathy. Okay, I promise. But Arthur, surely she wouldn't be stupid enough to bring him to my party. You'd be surprised how stupid people get when they think they're smarter than everyone else. I left the tea shop and walked straight into a private investigation firm located 2 streets away. I didn't want to guess anymore. I wanted high-definition proof. The investigator, a gruff man named Mr. Finch, told me to sit tight. By Friday afternoon, my phone buzzed with a message. It wasn't a text, it was a photo, taken through the window of a wine bar in Covent Garden. It showed Sophie, and she wasn't alone.
The photo on my phone screen was grainy, taken from a distance, but unmistakable. It was Sophie. She was sitting in a booth at a swanky wine bar, laughing with her head thrown back. Across from her sat a man, Julian, presumably. He was younger than me, sharper, wearing a suit that cost more than my first car. His hand was resting over hers on the table. I stared at it until the screen went black, and I stared at my reflection in the dark glass. I looked the same, but I felt hollowed out. Mr. Finch, the investigator, called me 10 minutes later. We've got him leaving now, Gov. Walking towards the tube, hands in pockets but very close. Do you want us to follow him home? No, I said, my voice sounding calm, almost detached. I know where she's going. She'll be home in 40 minutes, pretending she was working late. Right you are. I'll have the full dossier sent to your email by Saturday morning. Timestamps, locations, the lot. Thank you, Mr. Finch. When Sophie came home that night, she did exactly as I predicted. She kicked off her heels, complained about the Jubilee line delays, and made herself a cup of tea. She kissed me on the cheek, a dry, perfunctory peck. I smelled him on her, a cologne that was expensive and musky, lingering under her perfume. Long day? I asked, turning a page of my book without reading a word. Nightmare, she sighed. Accounts are a mess. I might have to work a few hours on Saturday before I head to Eleanor's. Right, I nodded. Shame I can't come. I could have driven you. Oh, don't worry, she said quickly. I'll get an Uber. It's easier. Saturday arrived with a grey, oppressive sky. I spent the morning doing chores, mowing the damp lawn, polishing the car, while Sophie rushed around getting ready. She was trying on outfits, asking my opinion on dresses she claimed were for a casual girls' night, but were clearly designed to impress someone else. The red one, I said from the doorway. It suits you. You think? She twirled. It's not too much. No, it's perfect for the occasion. She left at 6 p.m. Don't wait up, she called out. We might go dancing after. Have fun, I shouted back. As soon as the front door clicked shut, I moved. I showered, shaved, and put on my best charcoal suit. I grabbed the gift bag I had hidden in the back of the wardrobe, a vintage silk scarf for Eleanor. I checked my email. Mr. Finch's report was there.
I forwarded it to my phone. I poured myself a stiff scotch, downed it in one, and called an Uber. The King's Head in Islington was buzzing when I arrived. It was a proper London pub. Mahogany bars, etched glass, and the smell of ale and pies. Eleanor had booked the upstairs function room. I walked up the stairs, my heart beating a steady, heavy rhythm. I wasn't angry anymore. I was past anger. I was in the cold, clear air of resolution. Eleanor was near the door, greeting guests. When she saw me, her jaw dropped. "Arthur," she whispered, pulling me aside. "She's not here yet. She texted me saying she's running late." "I know," I said, handing her the gift. "Happy birthday, Elle." "Arthur, are you sure about this?" She looked terrified. "Absolutely," I said. "Where is everyone?" "Inside, about 30 people. Mum and Dad are by the buffet." "Good." I straightened my tie. "Do me a favor. When she calls you, and she will call you to lie about where she is, put her on speaker. Can you do that for me?" Eleanor looked at me, searching my face. She saw the pain there, but also the determination. She nodded slowly. "Okay, I'll do it." I walked into the party. I greeted my in-laws, grabbed a sausage roll and waited. The trap was set. Now I just needed the mouse to walk in. At 7:45 p.m., Eleanor's phone rang. She looked at me from across the room and nodded. The music was turned down. She tapped accept and then speaker. Sophie's voice filled the sudden silence of the room, clear as a bell, and she wasn't alone.
The room had gone quiet, anticipating a speech or a toast. Instead, they got Sophie's voice amplifying from Eleanor's mobile. "Hey, Elle, happy birthday." Sophie sounded breathless, bubbly. In the background, there was the low hum of a different venue. Jazz music, clinking glasses, not the raucous pub atmosphere we were in. "Hey, Soph," Eleanor said, her voice shaking slightly. "Where are you? We've started the cake cutting." "I know, I'm so sorry." She laughed, a fake tinkling sound. "I'm literally stuck at the office. The server crashed. It's a total disaster. I'm going to be at least another hour. Just save me a slice, okay?" Then, a man's voice, deep, smooth, cut across the line. "Babe, the waiter is asking if you want another glass of Bollinger." The silence in the function room at the King's Head was absolute. You could hear a pin drop on the beer-stained carpet. Sophie shushed him, panic audible in the static. "Elle? Are you there?" Eleanor looked at me. I stepped forward. "We're here, Sophie," I said. A beat of dead air. Then, "Arthur, what are you doing there?" "I'm at your sister's birthday party, the one you said I wasn't invited to, the one you're currently missing because you're drinking champagne with Julian." "Arthur, you're misunderstanding. I'm at work. That was the IT guy." "The IT guy calls you babe and buys you Bollinger? Interesting company culture." "Stop it," she hissed. "You're embarrassing me." "I think you're managing that quite well on your own," I replied. "By the way, everyone is listening. Your mom, your dad, Eleanor, we're all on speaker." The line went dead. She hung up. The room erupted into murmurs. Eleanor's mom looked like she was about to faint. Her dad looked ready to kill someone. Eleanor just looked sad. "I'm sorry," I said to the room. "I didn't want to ruin the night, but I couldn't let her lie to you all." 20 minutes later, the door to the function room flew open. Sophie stood there. She must have been just down the road. She was flushed, wearing the red dress, her hair slightly disheveled. Julian was nowhere to be seen. She scanned the room, wild-eyed, until she landed on me. She stormed over, heels clicking aggressively on the floorboards. "How dare you!" she screamed, getting right into my face. "You psychopath! You set me up!" "I didn't make you cheat, Sophie," I said, not backing down, "and I didn't make you lie to your sister on her 30th birthday." "I wasn't cheating," she yelled, though the lie was so thin it was transparent. "Julian is a colleague. We were discussing work." "I have the photos, Sophie," I said quietly, leaning in so only she could hear. "Mr. Finch sent them over. The wine bar, the hand-holding, the kiss outside the station last Tuesday. It's over." She froze. The blood drained from her face, leaving her pale and ghostly under the pub lights. She looked around the room. Her parents refused to meet her eye. Eleanor was crying softly in the corner. Her friends were staring at their shoes. She realized then that she had no audience left, no allies. "You're pathetic," she spat at me, her voice breaking. "You were always too boring for me anyway." "Maybe, but at least I'm honest." She turned and ran out of the room, pushing past a waiter carrying a tray of pints. The door swung shut behind her, swinging back and forth like a pendulum counting down the end of our marriage. I exhaled, a long, shuddering breath. It was done. The boil had been lanced. Eleanor walked over and put a hand on my arm. "Are you all right?" "I'm not, but I will be." I thought the drama ended at the pub. I was wrong. When I got back to our house that night to pack a bag, the locks had already been changed, and through the letterbox, I could see Julian's coat hanging on the banister.
I didn't bang on the door. I didn't shout. I simply called a locksmith, showed him my deed and ID, and had the door opened within 20 minutes. Julian was gone by the time I stepped into the hallway, scuttled out the back door like a cockroach. Sophie was locked in the spare room, refusing to come out. I packed my things in silence. I took my clothes, my books, and the watch my father gave me. I left the furniture. I left the memories. I stayed at a hotel in Kensington that night, and the next morning I called a solicitor. The divorce was messy, as these things always are in the UK. She fought for the house, she fought for the pension, but the evidence was overwhelming. The unreasonable behavior clause in the petition was backed up by Mr. Finch's dossier and half a dozen witness statements from the party. 6 months later, I sat on a bench in Hyde Park. It was autumn now. The trees were burning with shades of ochre and russet, and the serpentine lake was steel gray under the October sky. I held a thick envelope in my hand. The decree absolute. It was official. I was a single man again. "Penny, for your thoughts?" I looked up. Eleanor was walking towards me, wrapped in a thick wool coat and the vintage silk scarf I had given her. She held 2 cardboard cups of coffee. "Just thinking about paperwork," I smiled, taking a cup. "It's amazing how 10 years of life can be reduced to a stack of A4 paper." "It's just paper, Arthur," she said, sitting down beside me. "The life is what you do now." We sipped our coffee in comfortable silence. Sophie had moved to Manchester with Julian, though I heard through the grapevine that he had already cheated on her. Poetic justice, I suppose. "How are things with the family?" I asked. "Better," Eleanor said. "Mum still refuses to say Sophie's name, but Dad is coming around. It takes time. Betrayal is a heavy thing to carry." "It is," I agreed. "But I put it down today." I tapped the envelope. "Good," she said firmly. "You deserve to be light again." We watched a swan gliding across the water, effortless and regal. "You know," I said, turning to her, "I never properly thanked you for that night. It must have been awful for you, ruining your party." "It wasn't the party that was ruined," she said, looking me in the eye. "It was the lie. And honestly, I'd rather have a messy truth than a perfect lie any day. I think I feel the same." "So," she nudged my shoulder,
Now that you're a free man, Arthur, what's the plan? I think, I said, standing up and tossing the empty cup into a bin, I think I'm going to go for a very long walk, and then I'm going to buy myself a decent dinner. Mind if I join you? For the walk, and maybe the dinner. I looked at her, really looked at her. I saw the kindness there, the integrity, the warmth that her sister had never possessed. I'd like that very much, I said. We walked off together under the London plane trees, leaves crunching under our boots. I didn't know where the path led, but for the first time in a long time, I wasn't worried about the destination. I was just happy to be walking with someone who knew the value of the truth. Moral of the story, the truth may be painful, and it may destroy the life you thought you had, but it is the only foundation worth building on. A relationship built on deception is a house of cards waiting for a breeze. Better to walk alone in honesty than to walk with someone in a lie.